All right, bonjour guys. So today we're going to be checking out a recommendation on the channel. We're still learning more about France, and this is titled France Dordogne from Rick Steves, Europe. If you're new here, consider liking, subscribe, watch the end with me. Let's get right into this one.
Bonjour, I'm Rick Steves, back with more of the best of Europe. This time we're exploring some of the best of small town and countryside France. It's the Dordogne River Valley. Thanks for joining us.
Don. Oh, I pronounced it wrongly.
The Dordogne River Valley, with its dramatic castles, prehistoric cave paintings, and prized cuisine, is an unforgettable blend of man-made and natural beauty. Once you get to know the region, you wonder why more Americans don't visit. Along with an
Okay,
idyllic canoe
why?
ride, we'll enjoy the highlights of the Dordogne. Visit a goose farm,
Ooh,
then savor the foie gras. Wander through a lamplit castle, browse a country market, and marvel at the Sistine Chapel of the prehistoric world. Then we cross into the next region to tour one very stern church, admire the art of Toulouse-Lautrec, and explore an imposing fortress city. France, the size of Texas, is made up of many distinct regions, including the Dordogne.
really? Is France the size of Texas? Wow, I think it's bigger.
Defined by a river by the same name. In the Dordogne, we visit Sarlat, Beynac, and the famous caves of Lascaux before heading into the Languedoc region, where we'll explore Carcassonne and Albi. 6 centuries ago, this lazy river, so peaceful today, separated warring England and France. Imagine, the French were up in that castle, and the English were just across the river. They duked it out for so long that the conflict became known as the 100 Years' War.
Oh, wow. I learned about the Hundred Years War, so I didn't know like this is about cut.
River, so peaceful today, separated warring England and France. Imagine, the French were up in that castle, and the English were just across the river. They duked it out for so long that the conflict became known as the 100 Years' War.
Like, sorry, when I was learning about France, when I saw the Hundred Years War, I was surprised. Like, Hundred Years War, it sounds so ridiculous in my ear. Like, I mean, you guys fought for 100 good years. I've never heard of something like that. I've known of some war that have lasted like, let me say, 5 years or 10 years, but like 100 years war, it's still insane to me.
Today's Dordogne River carries more holiday goers than weapons, as the region's economy relies heavily on tourism.
The weapon.
For an invigorating break from the car or train,
That's a
you
good
can
thing,
explore
actually.
the riverside castles and villages from a canoe. Kayaks and canoes are easy to hire. Rental places line the river, and they're happy to pick you up at an agreed-upon spot downstream. They're stable enough for beginners, and I can't think of a more relaxing way to enjoy both some great scenery and a little exercise. My friend and co-author of my France guidebook, Steve Smith, has joined us. You can pop ashore wherever you like. There's always a place to stow the canoe and plenty of welcoming villages, like La Roque-Gajac. Whether you're joyriding by car or paddling the Dordogne River, this town, a strong contender on all the cutest towns in France lists, is a must-see.
Actually, it is a beauty.
Back on the river, delights are revealed with each bend.
This castle is so beautiful.
Revealed with each bend.
Like, so pretty.
The river's current varies depending on how much rain they've had. It's been dry and today it's slow, perfect for a relaxing glide. We're finishing our ride in the feudal village of Beynac. With the Dordogne River at your doorstep, a perfectly preserved medieval village winds like a sepia-toned film set to the castle high above. In villages like this, there's nothing to really tour. It's just plain pretty. Stone roofs are typical of this region. Called lows in French, the flat limestone rocks, gathered by farmers clearing their fields, were a cheap and durable roofing material. The unusually steep pitch
Oh, it looks so
of those
pretty.
roofs, which last about 200 years, help distribute the weight down
Wow.
the walls.
200 years?
Small vents provide air circulation. Local
Like,
farmers are
that's amazing. 200 years. It's really durable.
quick to sing the roof's praises.
And how old is this house?
Cette construction date des années environ 1760.
1760 roughly. Is it waterproof?
Wow.
Que le beau temps revient, l'air revient à sécher aussi bien les bois que les lattes.
You want these holes that we can see through here so air comes through and helps dry out the tree trunks that are in here, the oak, etc. But it stays dry.
Do they build roofs like this today?
Ça se fait toujours, hein, ce genre de construction.
Oui.
So water doesn't get to enter the roof, but there's holes in it to like make the wood stay dry. How does that work? Sounds like magic.
Elles se font toujours, mais de moins
c'est
en
cher.
moins parce que c'est horriblement cher.
It's they
Horriblement
do,
cher.
but it's people like with a lot of money who want to do it. 250 years ago, this was a poor man's roof. Today, it's a rich man's hobby.
Yeah, the irony of life.
Beynac's brooding, cliff-crowning chateau soars 500 feet above the Dordogne River. Its design was state-of-the-art in its day. And it comes with a view fit for a king. During the Hundred Years' War,
Ooh.
more than a century of skirmishes between the French and the English back in the 13 and 1400s, the castle of Beynac was on the front lines. The sparsely furnished castle takes you back. Stone lamps light the way. In the knight's mess hall, you almost feel like the cooks are just taking a break. And even back then, there were manners. Park your sword at the end of the table. The leading noble family of the Dordogne ruled from this castle. Through the Middle Ages, here in the Great Room, the closest thing to a throne room, the decisions that affected the realm were made.
Wow.
During the Hundred Years' War, the castle of Beynac flip-flopped between French and English control several times. Negotiations were worked out in this room.
The subjects of the realm would gather in the courtyard to learn their destiny.
Their noble lord would stand here and proclaim, "Now you are French," or "Now you are English. Deal
Wow.
with it."
Deal with it.
Long before
That's
the age
funny.
of great castles, humbler groups in the Dordogne found refuge in caves. La Roque Saint Christophe, a series of river-carved terraces, has provided shelter to people here for 50,000 years. While the terraces were inhabited in prehistoric times, the exhibit you'll see today is medieval.
Wow.
The official recorded history goes back to 976
Whoa.
AD. People settled here to
Whoa.
steer clear of Viking raiders who'd routinely sail up the river.
Wow.
Back then, in this part of
This
Europe,
river holds so much history. Like, I mean, this river holds so much wealthy history, like weighty history.
the standard closing of a prayer wasn't Amen, but "And deliver us from the Norsemen, Amen." A clever relay of river watchtowers kept an eye out for raiders. When they came, residents gathered up their kids, hauled up their animals, as you can imagine with the help of this big recreated winch, and pulled up the ladders. While there's absolutely nothing old here except for the carved out rock, it's easy to imagine the entire village, complete with butcher, baker, and even candlestick maker, in this family-friendly exhibit.
Wow.
Nearby,
Wow.
Sarlat is the
Like,
pedestrian-friendly main town.
This history you just said is actually mind blowing. Like, oh my god.
Of the river valley. It's just the right size. Large enough to have a cinema with 4 screens, but small enough so that everything is an easy meander from the town center. It's the handiest home base for exploring the
Oh,
Dordogne.
this is so pretty.
There are no blockbuster sites here. Still, it's an inviting tangle of traffic-free cobblestoned lanes and handsome buildings lined with foie gras shops. Keith just hates Sarlat. And, in the summer, stuffed with tourists.
Sarlat's elaborate stonework recalls its glory century from about 1450 to 1550, after the Hundred Years' War. Loyal to the French cause through thick and thin in a century of war, Sarlat was rewarded by the king with lots of money to rebuild in stone.
Sarlat's new nobility built noble homes to match. The town's most impressive buildings date from this prosperous era. when the Renaissance style was in vogue. It's market day and the city's jammed as it has been for centuries of Saturdays. Everything's fresh and local, so seasonal that shoppers can tell the month by what's on sale.
Wow.
This has been going on for 1,000 years almost, since the Middle Ages.
What's this region known for in cuisine?
Well, the Dordogne is famous for three things: walnuts, cakes and nuts, and
So all
olives.
this is walnuts ingredient.
That's the walnut table. Truffles, which are a mushroom that you'll find only fresh in the winter, so you won't see it in the market today. And the biggie. what people
Okay,
come
I
to
see
serve
why you say you can tell the months by the items on the tables.
for foie gras, which is the luxurious liver of force-fed geese and ducks. In fact, people come to this area more, I think, for that than they do the famous caves or the castles or the river. That's kind of the raison d'être of the area from a culinary perspective.
I mean, try something. Oui, goose liver, okay.
Which one is best?
The best is the one piece, duck liver and goose liver.
So it's pure. It's just that.
Wow, that's good.
Wow.
Let's taste the difference. This should be stronger, right?
Well, duck is different. Duck is a strong, the goose is a sweet.
Yeah, that's a good description. One strong, one sweet.
Yeah, actually, that's a good.
Notice the difference?
This square of the geese is a reminder that birds are serious business here and have been since the Middle Ages. Many question the morality of force-feeding geese to make the foie gras. To learn more about this, we're heading into the countryside to actually visit a goose farm. For generations, the Mazet family has raised geese right here. Natalie, clearly in love with the country life, enthusiastically shows guests around her idyllic farm. Each evening, she leads a family-friendly tour, explaining the age-old tradition of le gavage, force-feeding the geese to fatten their livers to make the much-loved goose liver pâté,
Whoa.
foie gras.
In the farm we have 1,000 geese each year, and this one are 6 weeks old. And during the day they are outside and they come back inside during the night. A goose cannot stay in a small box. She will die. She needs to walk, she needs to eat grass. These birds are migrator. And before doing the migration, they eat a lot. They make a foie gras. They stock energy on the liver to be able to fly.
So it's their natural gas
It's a
tank.
natural
Oh.
way to stock energy.
I didn't even know this about goose. Wow, that's an interesting fact.
Natalie explains why locals see the force feeding as humane, the same as raising any other animal for human consumption. French enthusiasts of le gavage say that the animals are calm, in no pain, and are designed to gorge naturally. Dordogne geese live lives at least as comfy as other farm animals that many people have no problem eating. And
I mean, like, getting the force feeding sounds normal, but like seeing it, I actually don't know how I feel about it. Like, that's the process of them putting the stuff in the goose mouth. But again, everything we eat today, all the whole stock we eat today, the animals are being force fed, like it or not. But like seeing it,
they're slaughtered as humanely as any non-human can expect in this food chain existence.
Does this not hurt the goose to put the
No,
tube down?
no. The tube can go very easily on the top of the stomach because a goose naturally can hit big stone or a big corn on a cob.
A goose can eat a corn on a cob.
Yes, so the tube is not very big for a goose. To have a good foie gras, the goose must have a good life outside and during the force feeding.
The region's cuisine is a big draw here. We're dropping by a favorite restaurant of Steve's to enjoy the local specialties. Gourmet eaters flock to this region for its goose, duck, pâtés, white asparagus, and more.
That's done.
Et la trilogie de foie gras. Donc vous avez au torchon, au confit et au vin. Et c'est conseillé de le manger confit, torchon et au vin.
Okay.
Voilà,
merci.
bon appétit, messieurs.
Thank you. Merci. You're going to have to help me. This is 3 different foie gras, right?
Welcome to the Dordogne.
Okay.
All right, you've got 3 foie gras here. This one's confit, which is a foie gras cooked in its own fat. Right?
Okay.
The middle one, they call it confit au torchon, which means it's cooked with like a veil of chiffon around it. And
Okay.
the third one is a straight foie gras.
Oh, you know, I can taste a difference. There's a real clear difference. I like this very much. from about 18,000 until 10,000 BC, long before Stonehenge and the pyramids, back when mammoths and saber-toothed cats still roamed the earth. Prehistoric people painted deep inside caves in this part of Europe. These weren't just crude doodles, but huge and sophisticated projects, executed by artists and supported by an impressive culture, the Magdalenians. The region's limestone cliffs, honeycombed with painted caves, are unique on this planet. Tourists gather nearby at Lascaux, home of the region's and the world's most famous cave paintings. These caves were discovered accidentally in 1940 by 4 kids and their dog. Over the next couple decades, about 1 million visitors climbed through the prehistoric wonderland, inadvertently tracking in fungus on their shoes and changing the humidity and the temperature with their breathing. In just 15 years, the precious art deteriorated more than in the 15,000 years before that.
Whoa, that's
The
bad.
caves were closed to the public. Visitors can now experience the wonder of Lascaux by touring an adjacent replica. When their time comes, visitors are called to meet their guide for a look at the precisely copied cave called Lascaux II.
Then we are in the auction room, the most spectacular room of Lascaux. It's a sacred place. We don't live in a church. They never lived in the caves. And it's a huge composition. It's a calculated composition because they have taken advantage of the strip of rock to relate in a circle 2 groups of bulls facing each other. And in the center of this composition, they have united the 3 principal animals of Lascaux: horse, ox, and deer.
Is this a hunting scene?
No, it's not a hunting scene because on the walls, the hunter doesn't exist.
Actually,
They never tell the everyday life. The meaning is more complex.
What is the biggest animal?
Is this bull? Is the largest painting in the cave art, 16 feet from the top of the horn to the tip of the tail.
The guide explains that this 600-animal multi-cave composition was the work of a complex society, the Magdalenians. Their culture allowed for skilled artists to work over an extended period of time in this sacred place.
They fix maybe on the walls a dream, a myth, a knowledge, and the image will be able to across generations. The image becomes the memory of the society. The art of Lascaux is supposed to be around 17,000 years old. Wow. But compared to the beginning of the humanity, which was born in Africa 3 million years ago, Lascaux, it was yesterday. They were like us.
The region has many more examples of prehistoric cave painting, and the nearby National Museum of Prehistory provides an instructive background. This modern museum houses over 18,000 bones, stones, and fascinating little doodads, all uncovered locally. Artifacts are originals and show that while the Magdalenian people lived 15,000 years ago, they were far more advanced than your textbook cavemen.
actually, yeah. I'm really surprised with what I'm seeing.
Skeletons were discovered draped in delicate jewelry. Stag teeth and tiny shells were, it seems, lovingly drilled to be strung into necklaces. These barbed spearheads and fishhooks would work well today. Finely carved spear throwers show impressive realism for something 3 times as old as the oldest pyramids. Imagine flickering flames from these oil lamps lighting those art-covered caverns. Today, as we ponder the prehistoric caves and the artifacts of the Magdalenian people here in the Dordogne, we can marvel at how much we actually have in common with these people and how sophisticated their culture was so long ago. A short drive south from the Dordogne takes us into the region of Languedoc. This region's hard-fought past and independent spirit is evident in its old fortifications, fine art, and in a culture distinct from the rest of France that survives to this day. The fortress city of Carcassonne is a 13th century world of towers, turrets, and cobblestone alleys. This is Europe's ultimate walled fortress city.
It's
While it's
huge.
packed with
It's like almost.
tourists midday,
I mean, I can't compare it to the Great Wall of China, but like it's like something like that. Not the Great Wall of China size, but it's almost as huge. Not like not almost as huge. You get what I'm trying to say, but like it's huge.
all yours and evocative as can be, early and late. The city's stern ramparts evoke a time when defenses were stronger than offenses. And the only way to beat a place like this was a starve-em-out siege. Charlemagne laid siege to this place, and after several frustrating years, he ran out of patience. While the ramparts seem mighty enough, moats added to the fortified city's defenses. While not really filled with water and alligators, moats were generally just a dangerous no-man's land, designed to expose attackers. Small square holes on the inner wall once supported timbers, which supported defensive walkways. Modern shops fill buildings that date from Carcassonne's golden age, the 1100s, when troubadours sang ballads of ideal love, chivalry was in vogue, and a pragmatic spirit of tolerance pervaded everything. This became a center of the Cathars, a heretical group of Christians who thrived around here from the 11th through the 13th centuries. They saw life as a battle between good, the spiritual, and bad, the material. To the Cathars, material things were evil and of the devil. As France was working to consolidate its central power, it clamped down on feisty regions like this, especially if they were sympathetic to heretical groups like the Cathars. The region is dotted with evocative and remote castle ruins, which provided places of desperate last refuge for Cathars and remind of bloody struggles. When driven out of Carcassonne, many Cathars hid in the nearby castles of Les Tours. Back in Paris, the king wanted to tighten his grip on southern France. In Rome, the Pope needed to make it clear there was only one acceptable form of Christianity, and it was Roman. Both found self-serving reasons to wage a genocidal war against the Cathar people, who never amounted to more than 10% of the local population. After a terrible period of torture and mass burnings, the Cathars were wiped out.
Wow,
In
that's sad.
1321, the last Cathar was burned.
That's
The
so
Cathars
sad.
were also called Albigensians, named after this nearby town, Albi. Its massive Roman Catholic cathedral was the final nail in the Cathar coffin. Big and bold, it made the church's zero-tolerance policy towards heretical thinking perfectly clear. The cathedral looks less like a church and more like a fortress on purpose. The interior looks essentially as it did in 1500, and its art comes with a stern message. In the Last Judgment painting, the dead come out of the ground
I mean, it's beautiful. This art is like beautiful. The cathedral is very beautiful.
with an accounting of their deeds, both good and bad, printed in ledgers on their chests. The saved look confident and comfortable, and those whose ledgers don't add up look pretty nervous. A wide selection of gruesome punishments awaits the sinners. These graphic scenes were designed to frighten wide-eyed parishioners into conformity with church dictates. Next to the church, the former home of Albi's archbishop contains the world's largest collection of art by Henri Toulouse-Lautrec. The museum displays his work chronologically, letting you follow the evolution of his art with his fascinating life story. Toulouse-Lautrec, who was born here in Albi in 1864, was crippled from his youth. Because of this, he was on the fringe of society, and he had an affinity for people who didn't fit in. He made his mark painting the Parisian underclass, with an intimacy possible only by someone with his life experience. His subjects were from bars, brothels, and cabarets. Henri was particularly fascinated by can-can dancers, whose legs moved with an agility he would never experience. In the 1890s, Henri frequented brothels and befriended many prostitutes. He respected the women, feeling both fascination and empathy toward them. The prostitutes accepted Henri just as he was. They allowed him into their world, and he sketched candid portraits. Eventually, Toulouse-Lautrec established his unique style. Colors, garish. Subject matter, hidden worlds. Moralism, none. Toulouse-Lautrec's advertising posters were his bread and butter. He was an innovative advertiser, creating simple, bold, lithographic images for posters. Posters such as this one promoting the famous Moulin Rouge established his business reputation in Paris. Successful as he was, his career was short.
Why? Is that really?
Toulouse-Lautrec had a self-destructive lifestyle. He died at the age of 37,
Oh.
alcoholic, depressed, and paranoid. He was unmourned and unappreciated by the art establishment. But thankfully, his mother and a best friend recognized his genius and saved his work. They offered it to the Louvre, which refused. But in 1922, the mayor of Albi accepted the collection and hung it here. A wise move.
This corner of France offers a perfect storm of countryside experiences. Evocative castles, really old art, well-fed geese, all with a chance to hike through history, savor some rich food, and then work it off with a little exercise.
I hope you enjoyed our Dordogne adventure and our quick side trip to Languedoc. The more I understand France, the more I appreciate this fascinating and complex culture. Thanks for joining us. I'm Rick Steves. Until next time,
There's so much I don't know about France, and this video just actually opened my eyes. I didn't know this. You guys have so much deep history dating back to ancient times like this. I mean, this video blew my mind away. That just a place holds so much history. Just a river. I started with the river, and the rest is just history. Like, I need to see more of France, more of you guys' history. It's fascinating. I'm now, my brain is telling me, like, what more don't I know about France, which I need to dive deep. So I'm open to recommendation. Please drop videos in the comment section down below. Tell me what to check next. Thanks for watching with me. I mean, this video was long, so I really appreciate you for sticking around with me to this point of it. Until next time, bye for now, guys.